Hello, everybody. Welcome. The defending NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets, lost Game 7 of their playoff series against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Sunday night. During the Nuggets, coach Mike Malone's press conference, he called out a reporter for asking what he thought was a stupid question. You know, this game can humble you real quick. Learn how to be gracious in defeat and take your ass whoopings like a man. Learn how to be gracious in defeat. Accept defeat and move on to fight next season. Anybody can talk when their team is winning, but when their team is suddenly losing, then they want to whine and pout, go off on the reporters as if the reporter had anything to do with the loss. What the fuck you're mad at the reporter for? What did he do to you? Losing a 20-point lead in Game 7 in your own building is crazy. Take accountability for that. And see, that's what makes it simply hard to root for a team like the Denver Nuggets, because you have this arrogant ass coach who comes off as snobby and rude. To behave the way he did following that game, that was unnecessary. Childish, very immature of a man who talked all his trash, talked all his shit, calling opposing teams his daddy and all that. A great coach, a champion, highly respected, but respectfully, that was not a stupid ass question from the reporter. It was, in fact, a legitimate question. Mike Malone is just a grumpy, grouchy man. He strikes me as someone who is arrogant and comes off as rude and cocky when speaking to the media. I don't like that. Great coach, great guy, just a douchebag. His feelings are hurt after being outcoached and after his team got punched in the mouth, particularly in the second half. And see, people can dish it out, but can't take it. He trolled the Lakers for a year and a half, and now that your team lose, you can't take it? All of a sudden, you can't take it. Can't even remain a professional after your team blows it in a big way. And now all of a sudden, you can't take it. You're showing up to a press conference acting worse than a child. Acting worse than a child, pouting and crying like a baby. I'll tell you, what I saw last night watching that press conference, that was the biggest loser response I have ever seen from a head coach. The biggest loser response. And everyone is on his shit list. Everyone is talking about how Mike Malone handled himself in that press conference yesterday. There was nothing that reporter said that was wrong. The reporter basically said, and I watched the press conference, but I have it right here. How hard is it to absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20? A reporter asked Mike Malone in the post-game press conference. Mike Malone goes on to say, next question, man. The season's over. That's what's hard. Fucking being up by 20. The season's over. You don't understand. You don't understand that. The season's over. It's hard. Stupid ass question. It was not, in fact, a stupid ass question. It was a great question. Because look, the Nuggets were in complete control in this game. In the first 24 minutes, the Nuggets were in complete control. It looked like they were going to win the damn game. Okay, before they let it all slip away. You know, that alone makes the loss tougher to swallow. You know what I'm saying? So Mike Malone has to be better. Be a better person. And I'm not trying to do this video to clown him or, to get on the Denver Nuggets and all of that. This is not about trolling. This is about a guy who needs to change his attitude. And maybe a loss like this will humble him, right? Maybe a loss like this, maybe you need to take a look at yourself in the mirror and see what you did wrong as a head coach. Why did this happen? Why did your team melt down the way that they did? Why did they lose the way that they did? Or you could be kind enough and give some credit to the Minnesota Timberwolves because it was all what they did on the defensive end that got them back in the game. You know, Anthony Edwards did a good job standing in front of Jamal Murray. And I felt like once they tightened up their defense and they started contesting his shots and they made it difficult for him and Anthony Edwards was chasing him around the floor, that's when you saw the game take a turn, right? You saw a major turn of events in the game. That was the one adjustment. And quite frankly, what Mike Malone will never admit to, because he's not that kind of a person, is that he simply got out-coached in the game. He got out-coached. And it was just a strange night for the Denver Nuggets because nobody was really scoring any points. Jokic, is out beyond the perimeter attempting all these damn three-pointers. For what? Why? That's not your style of play, dude. Why are you settling for threes and not attacking the basket more often? So it was things like that, right? The Denver Nuggets did it to themselves. They did it to themselves. The season is over. There's nothing you can do about it but move on until next season. And Mike Malone needs to be gracious in defeat, and he needs to take his ass whooping like a man and be a man about it. Grow up. Be a man about it. That was very unprofessional, very distasteful, and very disappointing to see a grown man act the way he did during that press conference last night. Uncalled for. Just answer the damn question. That's part of your job as a head coach. Answer the question to the best of your ability. And I know a lot of it had to do with frustration and everything, but you still got to compose yourself and you got to handle yourself in a different way. Because now people are talking about your ass and how you approached that press conference after that game last night. You call that reporter's question stupid, but yet your actions were stupid. And now the season is over for the Denver Nuggets. Congratulations to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'll talk more about the game a little bit later, but I wanted to talk about Mike Malone. I wanted to come on here and give you my thoughts about that press conference last night that everyone saw. The video went viral of him, disrespectfully coming at the reporter the way he did after the loss. It's time to grow up. It's time to represent that franchise as a head coach and not a teeny bopper. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support. We'll talk very soon. I'm getting out of here now. Peace.